What's going on, everybody? Quentin Gulliford here, co-founder of Bloom Entities. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to control your emotions in trading. I won't sit here and act like this is an easy process, right? But what we're going to do in this video is establish 4 things that we can all do to make this attainable, to make this something that we can conquer, that you can conquer. Understanding your emotions and managing those thoughts and emotions during your trading sessions, after your trading sessions, when you're reflecting on your trading day and your performance. And again, a lot of this is something that takes time for us to rewire our brain towards, right? Sitting here right now, I can't tell you what your paradigm is. Only you know that for you. I'm the only one that is in control of my own paradigm, right? And how I internalize things and process things. But I'm in the belief that if you put these 4 things, these 4 concepts into your daily routine, into your trading protocol, you will see to it that you will have more control over your emotions in trading and start to really approach trading systematically and as a professional does. The first point I want to make is, in this game of trading, we will not be right every single time. Marcus brought this up on his live this morning, actually yesterday morning, excuse me. No, it was this morning. Today's Tuesday. And I hate hearing, oh, this is the best trading strategy ever. No, or this is the best trading strategy ever. No one could ever empirically say that, right? Anybody that's been in the game knows there's countless of different trading strategies, different ways you can approach this game. So anybody that says they have the best trading strategy in the world, maybe listen to somebody else. But I say that insofar as to make the point that any trading strategy, great trading strategies might have a 55% win percentage, a 60% win percentage, 65% winning percentage. And of course, that's variable depending on the trading conditions. And it'll obviously be variable month to month, year over year. You get the idea. But if we're thinking about a 55-60% win percentage, we're of course not winning every single trade that we take. Right. So much of trading is not about wins and losses. It's about us being able to manage our leverage early, to understand when we want to take our profit, and to really have a system-based execution approach when it comes to our specific system. If we get into this game thinking that we're supposed to be right every time, or we get sad when we're wrong, and we get angry when we're wrong, we revenge trade when we're wrong, we overtrade when we're wrong, so much of that for me is I was able to turn the corner with that by really internalizing and understanding the fact that we just simply will not be right every time. If our risk management is in place and we're not over leveraging, that 55% win percentage, 60% win percentage can be something that is phenomenal with respect to the success of our trading journey. Now, the second point I want to make is approach trading as if you were a scientist, right? Me, I'm in the kind of STEM world. Not everybody is, right? Not everybody's used to, approaching things kind of scientifically. But I know, at least if you live in America, you have an education up to about a 7th, 8th grade level. Your reading comprehension, ability to read and process things, at the very least, would be at about an 8th grade level. So I think we are all familiar with the scientific process. When it comes to our strategy, when it comes to our execution, we have to approach this in a way where we figure something out. Okay, let's test it. All right, we've tested it. We back tested it. Okay, now let's execute it. Okay, now that we've executed, let's reflect on the execution. Okay, and now let's reevaluate. Do we need to change anything? Do we need to add anything to the system, to the strategy? All right. And approaching something like a scientist means that we're not going to be scared to try something new. We're not going to be scared to investigate a certain thing, or say we're wrong when the market proves that we are wrong, with whatever the context is, right? But approach this space as if you're a scientist, a researcher. Trading is not easy, right? To build a system, and I'll get to that in my last and fourth point, it allows us to have tangible metrics that we can track over time to really gauge how we're doing, how we're performing, right? And if we're not performing the way we want to perform relative to what our system is at any given moment, let's reevaluate. Okay, we need to add something or take something away. Cool, awesome, done that. Let's test that. Execute, bam, reevaluate. And we just run through that cyclical process. And what this does for me it cues any lessons that I take, any losses that I take as information, right? Every time I'm wrong, every time I am invalidated, I store that. I log it. Okay, I've got that repetition, and I'm going to make sure that this repetition is added to the pile of useful lessons I have gained in the trading space that will allow me to get to where I desire to be in this space. And my third point is going to be, once you find your system, once you have established the way you want to approach the markets, simplify from there. Right? I think any great trader will tell you that the simpler the system that is, the better in most cases, right? I'll kind of add that asterisk there. Because again, what did I say earlier? So much of trading isn't necessarily having the most, complicated, intricate strategy where you're looking at 7 different things in order to inform your decisions on whether to take this trade, whether to take your profit, whether to slide your stop loss. And especially in my experience, I've found it's so much easier to control my emotions through my trading sessions when my system developed to the point where it was simple. It was simple. And of course, I still, will test things, add things. Like I just said, when we want to be a scientist, I'll add things. Okay, take things away. And at this point, it's little things, right? Because I just want to keep the system simple. Every time I open my chart, it's bam, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, got it, log it, got a bias, bam, risk, leverage for the day, done, set, simple as that. And I really want to latch on to this systems-based approach, right? I can't emphasize enough how our execution has to come from a well-defined system of execution, system of leverage, system of risk management, right? And then once you establish a system, just stick to it. Stick to it. And I don't say just lightly, because that's the hard part of trading, right? Sticking to your system, finding, like I said, there's a million different strategies, right? Once you find your strategy, then the hard part is just sticking to it, right? Why? Emotions, right? But if we take note of the things I go through in this video and truly internalize it, right? Internalize the action of establishing your system and really focusing on and internalizing, okay, all I have to do to be a great trader is stick to that system. That's it. Simplicity. And my fourth and last point is going to be just stick to the input, guys. Trust the repetitions. As Bob Proctor says, constant, patient, spaced repetition is how we learn anything, how we change our paradigm, how we change our ability to control our emotions, how we become a better trader is through constant, patient, spaced repetition. Guys, it's the reps that are gonna get it done for us. I promise you, it's gonna be the reps. So what does focusing on the input means? Focus on the input of energy into your system, into understanding your leverage, into learning about macros, learning about global money flow, and just focus on what you can do to grow, what you can do to change whatever it is you want to change. Focus on the inputs. And whatever outcome you desire, there's a very, very, very high probability that will be manifested in the results. And that's all I got for you guys. Controlling your emotions is something that every trader has to overcome. It's a hill every trader has to overcome. FOMO, revenge trading, over trading. These are all emotionally tied actions, emotionally tied behaviors. And it's something we have to internalize, right, and change within ourselves over, again, constant, patient, spaced repetition. This isn't going to happen overnight. But if you do these 4 things, If you understand that you're not going to be right every time you make a trade, be a scientist, test, execute, reevaluate, then simplify. Once you have that defined system, simplify it and make this game as easy as you can for yourself. And lastly, focus on the inputs. Focus on the input of energy into various avenues, into various learning opportunities in order to expedite the process of you achieving whatever outcome it is that you desire. If you made it this far, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you haven't already, please like this video. Give us a comment, any recommendations for future videos. Marcus and I were both pouring in a lot of input into this YouTube University and trying to provide as much of our insight to the YouTube University student body as we can. So again, please like, share this video with anybody you might feel it can help in their journey, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.